And welcome back.
We are filming on a Wednesday instead of a Tuesday, because usually we'll film and upload, but the weekend got away from us.
Yeah. We have a cat now.
Leslie's in Massachusetts.
Yep. And he's climbing on your...
Oh, for the love of God, Leslie,
greenhouse.
don't break my terrarium. He's fat. Oh my God. I can't get over it. He was not that big when I left. I have been out of Ohio for only a few months. I came in June. It's October. Get an eyelash in the middle of here.
Thank you.
And here he is.
There he is in the background.
Come here, baby.
Doing his thing.
Come here.
Whoa.
Got him. And he's not happy. He's still getting used to everything here. He arrived on Monday.
Mm-hmm.
So he's still getting used to the dogs. He has made eye contact. That is the farthest we have gotten, is making eye contact.
Yes. Eye contact is key. So what's today's video?
Today's video, we're reading Reddit threads of Am I the Asshole?
Yeah. This should be fun.
This will be very fun. Feel free to leave your opinions in the comments. You want to go first?
Sure.
Or do you need time to look for a couple?
How about you pull up the one you have?
I have 3 already.
Yeah, pull up one and I'll look through mine. I listen while looking.
Oh shit, I have 2 of them. 2 of the same one up. No. Okay. You know what? I'll do that one then. Let's scoot this over here by me so you can hear me a little bit better. Am I the asshole for not letting my sister join my wedding as the maid of honor? And Reddit has already said that they are not the asshole, so let's see if we agree. I, 32 male, am getting married to the love of my life, 31 female, this November. We met in college and dated seriously afterwards. My sister... my sister Mia introduced us as she was my sister's best friend. My sister really helped us when I had a fight with my fiance 3 years ago about our plans for children. It's no exaggeration to say my sister is the reason my fiance and I are still together. However, fast forward to our wedding planning, we of course asked my sister to be a bridesmaid. She is one of the most important people in our lives. She has been a rock. She proposed another idea that she would be the maid of honor because she feels without her there would be no wedding at all. She wants to wear a white dress and stand at my fiance's side during the vows. To be clear, she is not trying to be my bride, she just wants the role of the matchmaker. I can't deny she was truly important in my relationship, but I feel that this was a step too far. My friends and family are split on this. As it's not really different from a maid of honor position, which I am fine with her being. I just feel it would be weird to have her dressed up like that and have the captions on the wedding photos reflect that. Leslie! Leave that be! I told you he was going to do that.
It's a catastrophe. Huh? I'm sorry.
Leslie Jordan McQuay.
What are you doing?
He's like, I hear your stepdad. I got the spray bottle. Okay. I tried to ask her if she would be content with a lesser role, but she said she played such an important part in our relationship that she deserves the recognition. This has caused some friction with my fiancé and me. She thinks it would be fine to have my sister dress up however she wants, but I still think it would be strange, and I can't shake the feeling my sister is overstepping some boundaries. What do you think? From another guy's perspective.
So, give me a quick, base level, again, just real second, just so I, am processing what I listened to.
Okay.
What was the situation again?
The sister-in-law wants to, not the sister-in-law. Let me try that again, because I fucked up and I am being blocked. Okay. Okay, you have a sister.
Mm-hmm.
You have a sister and then a stepsister. one of them has asked you to be a maid of honor, and they want to wear a white dress and be right in the middle, like by the officiant during the vows. Because
No.
thank you.
Yeah.
Because they played that much of an important role in their relationship. Now, I'm curious about the if you hear other people talking, it's his parents.
Yeah.
They're having to measure stuff. They're rearranging stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think he's the asshole. I think it's weird that the fiance is like, oh yeah, I don't have a problem with that. Not weird in the sense that I'm a bridezilla, because we've talked about getting married and everything before.
Mm-hmm.
So he said, give me a text on Wednesday.
No.
No.
Don't wear white. If I offer to have you in my bridal party and you automatically go, oh well, I want the maid of honor position.
Yeah.
No.
No. Just no.
No. And they're not the asshole for thinking that that's weird.
No, they're not. That's just a weird whole situation.
Dynamic at the moment.
I got a good one.
Alright, go ahead.
Am I the asshole for showing proof as to why I wasn't going to pay for my sister and her partner's expensive meals?
Ooh.
Last week, myself, my siblings, their parents, and our mom went to a new nice restaurant in town as our mother had been wanting to go for a while. So we both decided to bring her as a treat. Nice.
Mm-hmm.
As I have food allergies and recovering from jaw surgery, I have limited foods that I can eat. Therefore, I only got a couple sides that were easy to chew and swallow. My meals was $25 total. My mom's total was $65, so kind of like standard, like, depending what you're getting. So probably
it was probably like a nice big fancy restaurant. With
like sides, like probably like some chips, French fries, like easy cheese.
With them being able to eat only certain foods, it was probably mashed potatoes and maybe like overcooked mac and cheese.
Yeah, something like that.
Kid stuff.
And my siblings and her partner meals each well over $150
each.
Each. So both of them had a $150 meal.
What the fuck did they eat?
I don't know, some Wagyu. Well, fucking. When the server came to our table and asked about the checks, I stated I was paying for mine and we were splitting our mother's 50-50. This left my siblings and her partner. My sibling and her partner. I keep saying siblings plural.
No, you're fine.
My sibling and her partner to pay for their own meal and half of our mother's. They threw a fit and told me I was being stingy and selfish because the whole bill should have been split down the middle since it's a family outing.
No.
I stated that this outing was for our mother because she's been waiting to go and we decided to treat her to it. But that I am not required to pay for their meals just because we're family. They were heated and began getting angry with me, then gave me the silent treatment the whole ride home. My mother agrees that I should not have been paying for their food as they were most likely expecting a cheap, nice meal, but they've taken to FB, I'm not sure what that means, to complain about.
They've taken to Facebook.
Taken to Facebook.
To get, like, their friends' side.
But my mom does and saw the post. They've made other family members call to text me to tell me I'm selfish, insecure because of my single, etc. It got chaotic. At that point, as my receptive words.
Yeah.
Right there. I have a little dyslexia, so it's hard for me to read some words.
As my receipt.
Receipt was sent to me, email, and my sister and hers sent the email to me to SS and text her. She said her email was too full. My mother decided to post both receipts on Facebook to show that I wasn't Selfish one. Now those same family members are going off of my sister and her partner for being selfish, while also telling me I had no business airing out the truth because they have the right to be angry that I wouldn't pay their way and say now I'm starting drama. In short, am I an asshole for not paying? No, you're not.
No, you're not an asshole. If we go out to dinner with, again, my siblings, my brother and my sister-in-law, and because I don't talk to my sister, and one of us, like, I'll have random stomach issues, or sometimes we only want like certain things, and that's usually on the cheaper side. You and I would either, like, we'd split the bill like 50-50. So, like, they would pay for their meals, we would pay for ours.
Yeah.
And then, like, I'd Venmo you money or you'd Venmo me money to cover that cost out of our paycheck, because that's just the way that we are. No. $150 each. The 60-some I can kind of understand. Again, that was a gift. That was a present for the mom. What the hell?
And also, I want to know what restaurant you're going to where...
You spend $150 on just one person for one meal. Where the hell are you eating? Hell's Kitchen?
Exactly, like where? If this is like a new place.
And that's on the cheap side of Hell's Kitchen.
Yeah, like, because like the mom's was $60, which usually that's pretty reasonable if you're getting
and
like...
theirs was 20-something for sides.
Yeah, which depending what... It could have, like, side could have been like a Cobb salad, like something easy to chew.
Well...
Like...
Salad's not exactly easy to chew when you've had jaw surgery.
That's true.
So
but like, well, I can't think of really
like
many other sides she would have that were $25.
Mashed potatoes, maybe glazed carrots,
something.
Corn off the cob,
a soup.
A soup. Yeah, a soup.
That's the most believable I can think of.
So maybe like a chicken noodle or even
maybe it was
cheddar.
like just noodles too.
Yeah,
just
or it was just noodles.
And the mother getting like a $60 meal, like that'd be like the equivalent of like, I don't know, like a pizza or like a burger or like a nice steak.
Probably
like,
a steak.
I like
or,
to believe a steak.
Like a fish. Like my salmon when we went out for your birthday was about $35-$40.
Yeah, that's like a nice.
But it was
salmon.
A nice restaurant we went to.
But meanwhile, the $150 folks are getting like steak wagyu or steak tartare, like something like up the ass
God.
Expensive.
Oh my god!
And from what I got from the story, what I was implying, it was like one thing. It wasn't multiple things.
Yeah, like.
So that means there were no appetizers.
Yeah, does that mean, like, was that including, like, their appetizers, their drinks? Oh my god, their drinks.
Oh, their drinks equivalent to that, because they're all adults, so that means they have to be drinking a little bit, too.
Maybe, with it being that big of an occasion or something. Oh my god.
What I also like, though, is that this also shows that Facebook can turncoat real fast.
Oh, yeah.
Like, they were on, like, the girl... Like, they were on, like, the daughter's ass because they were, like, being insufferable for not paying. Then the mother's like, look at this. And then they're like, yeah, no, fuck the other guys then.
I think it's stupid that the family was going after the person. Like,
yeah.
I understand, like, splitting the check for the mom. Because it was a treat. Both of them probably was like, oh, yeah, we'll take this to mom. That way she can... You know, have her nice meal.
Yeah.
And who the fuck is gonna complain? Because it's 60. 60 divided by 2 is 30. Who the fuck is bitching because they have to pay $30?
I know, yeah. Like, what you expect was gonna happen? And you wouldn't have gotten this $150, like...
meal had you not come with us.
And you probably have a good job to even get those to begin with. Like...
Or you're a moocher.
Oh, God,
and a cheapskate.
A massive cheapskate. Also, side thing. Why go to Facebook?
Because most people have a Facebook.
I know, but like...
That's how a lot of people, especially Midwesterners...
fair enough.
I don't have one anymore, thank fucking...
I never started one. Never had any interest in it. I deleted my Twitter years ago, so...
You have to call it right. It's X now. You know, Elon Musk won't, you know...
Twitter!
Elon Musk will dead name his child, but is pissy because his social media app is being
He
misnamed.
is made out of Play-Doh. Have you seen his pictures?
Yes.
He literally looks like
He looks
made
fake.
of Play-Doh. Like his head and
He
his
looks
body
fake.
proportions.
That's what bad Botox is. We're gonna get canceled before we even get started.
Nah, I think there's a lot of people that don't like him anyway.
That's fair.
Next one.
Am I the asshole for telling my friends that my husband isn't well read?
Continue.
Background: my husband, let's call him Will, is in the Navy, and he works on nuclear reactors on submarines. We've been together for 4 years, married for 2. We were at a small house party with a few friends of mine from college, and we were discussing books we've all read, when at one point one of my friends, let's call him Steve, asked Will, "So Will, what's your favorite book?" And my husband's response was, "Oh, I really like To Kill a Mockingbird." Then Steve gave him a quizzical look and asks him, "Have you read any books outside of high school?" I'm already aggravated at this.
That's okay. Who?
And Will hesitates a bit and says, "Outside of manuals at work, I guess I haven't." So then I try to explain to Steve, "Oh yeah, he's not well educated, so he's never had a reason to be well read."
Bitch.
Oh my god! We all had a good laugh, but then Will didn't really contribute a whole lot to the conversation the rest of the night. On the car ride back, Will was pretty quiet. I ask if he's fine, and all he says in a sarcastic tone is peachy. I ask him if I did anything to upset him, and he responds back with, "I don't know. I don't think I'm well educated enough to properly explain myself." That's me.
That's me as well. I'm that petty.
I tell him I didn't tell my friends that he was unintelligent, just that he wasn't college educated.
That's the same thing.
He accused me of minimizing how hard his Navy schooling was, but I explained that military education and college education are simply not the same thing. We continued to fight until we got home. I texted my sister about what happened, and she called me a huge asshole and that I need to apologize, and now I'm having second thoughts about how I handled it. Am I the asshole? Yes, you are an absolute bitch.
You are the biggest asshole to ever insult someone because they didn't attend college.
Because they went and served in the Navy and got an education through that.
First of all, let me break you down a couple things with education. One, high school education can still get you a lot of things. Look at me. I work in a maintenance department. Sure, it's not a glamorous job, but it's still my educational, line still got me that job.
Your educational background has nothing to do with it.
I did college for a little bit, and then I had to dip because COVID got bad. So that doesn't mean I don't have any education, especially because college has very specific things you can do in it, like filming and art and poetry, for example, which aren't like business, like hokey dokey, I know how to read.
Yeah, it's not like learning how to understand stocks or bookkeeping or working with numbers or anything like that.
And you said he was in the Navy?
Yes.
Specifically out in sea kind of Navy.
It said he worked on nuclear reactors on submarines.
That's fucking education! Because they don't let people who can't read into that, because someone would just twist a key and set off a nuke. Oh my god. If you think that's not education, you are actually the one who doesn't have any education. You've actually been long, out of the educational scene because of that.
As somebody who just tends to reread the same books that I grew up with, if he's reading one of the books that was a requirement in school, first of all, To Kill a Mockingbird is no longer a requirement in certain schools, especially in Florida. It's one of the banned books.
Which is a shame, because it's a good book.
I haven't read it.
You would like it.
I want to read it. I'm gonna see if it's on the Kindle. My favorite book, honestly, would probably be what I'm reading now, which is The Dead Poets Society. But, I still go back to the books that I read in high school. I still go back to, like, the Shakespeare stuff that I like to read. I still go back to Edgar Allan Poe. In fact, I fall asleep to it. I will, like I told you when we were at Barnes & Noble a few weeks ago, we were looking at books, I'm like, I solely gravitate towards the young adult novels, because that was all the stuff that I used to read.
Yeah.
Because it's not even like it's solely one book, it's just the genre overall. Just because you like to read, like, Harry Potter or Hunger Games or, hell, even Twilight. I'm gonna judge you a little bit, but I'm gonna judge you just because of, like, the art author more than I am the content or the context. There is nothing wrong with liking certain genres or certain books and rereading your favorites over and over again. It's like a lot of people who have, like, ADHD or autism or something like that, we tend to rewatch the same shows that we grew up with.
Yeah.
Or play the same games. Like, I'm on, like, my 4th or 5th playthrough of Stardew, because it's, you know how it's gonna end. There's no unexpected reeling of your emotions or anything like that, and some people don't like that. There is nothing wrong with sticking to solely a certain book genre or certain books that you grew up with or anything like that, and just continuously rereading those books. You are 100% the asshole.
Yeah. Where's Leslie?
He went back in the bedroom.
You agree with me? He's never looking at me.
He absolutely does.
Alright. Here's one I got. It's a bit like, it's not like that, but I think this one would be quite interesting too. Am I the asshole for telling my wife I would rehome her chameleon? Right. My wife and I love reptiles. We have several, and they are all well cared for. We certainly rescued a chameleon from someone who was leaving the country for work for an extended period of time and couldn't bring him. We got his enclosure, lights, misting system, the whole 9 yards, for free. He is uncommonly for a chameleon, very friendly and personable. If his enclosure door is open, he'll crawl out. He came right up to people. He also has the endearing quality of standing on his hind legs and reaching up with his front claws as if he's a toddler wanting uppies. So, recently, my wife has begun letting him out of his enclosure more and more often. Unsupervised, I came upstairs from working in the basement to him standing on his heat lights. Thankfully, he didn't get burned, but he could have... hold on, I just lost my place. But he could have. I explained to my wife that he can't be left out unsupervised. We also have a dog and a cat that could try to eat him. He could get stepped on, burn himself, or just otherwise get hurt. She agreed that she would put him away when she was busy. She does most of the time. That's in all caps. But leaves him out enough that it has become a concern. I have to come home from work to find him walking across the floor or just doing random things while she's out in the backyard, in the kitchen, etc. I put him away and reminded her that he needs to be put away to protect him. Well, last night I was in the basement working. I hear her crying, saying his name. She didn't put him away, and now she couldn't find him. Thankfully, I found him pretty quickly, hiding between his enclosure and the misting pump, happy as a clam. I told her if she left him out unsupervised again, I would be removing him from his own protection. I told her that if she could not be responsible to care for him, somebody else will. She became extremely offended and still won't talk to me. So am I the asshole for telling my wife I would rehome a chameleon for its own protection? No. Because it's one thing when you have a cat. We can leave Leslie unsupervised fine. He has somewhere safe to go and he's perfectly content just walking around here. Yeah, this house is
huge. He's fine.
A dog is another thing too. Because it's a dog. Like,
it depends on the size of the dog.
Depending on the size of the dog, but even then, a dog's a dog. Like, The
Technically, it also depends on the size of the cat. But when it
And-
comes to reptile care, it's a totally different.
yeah,
Like, you have experience in that. I don't.
I do. I never let my reptiles out on supervised hail. I barely even let them out to begin with. Like, not to say I didn't trust that they would be fine, but it's mostly the fact that they have
And
every
it's not
nook
to say that you didn't handle them.
Yeah, it's just the fact that they have every reason to hide in a nook and cranny anywhere,
Yeah.
and I could possibly never find them again. Not to mention that, like, if they got outside somehow,
They'd be dead. They'd be bird food.
they'd be bird food. They'd freeze to death in the winters. They'd
They'd freeze to death regardless. It gets so cold here at night
yeah,
now.
that's like the other main issues. Like, especially the
And
fact
it's
that we
only
lose
October.
power.
Yeah, if we lose power because of a storm,
Mhm.
like, cats and dogs are covered in fur. Even, like, when it comes to goldfish, if they're not kept at a certain temperature, they could die.
Mm-hmm. Hamsters get lucky, but even they can still get lost too.
They can get lost. They can also, I've heard people say that the temperature issue interacts with them as well.
Yep, it does because they're small. They can't handle
and
it.
like chinchillas and small rodents.
The only ones that I think I've heard that like can handle it pretty well is guinea pigs, but that's because people make sweaters for them.
Yeah. I mean, people make sweaters for most of their animals, but at
Yeah,
the same
true.
time, like, it's a chameleon.
Yeah, and they
Like a fully grown chameleon.
and
is,
they're
like,
hard to take care of too. I've never
that
had a
big.
chameleon, like, but they are not.
Yeah, they're
easy
not
to
for
take
a
care of.
beginner.
Yeah, a lot of people.
I did research on getting one because I love chameleons.
Yeah, they're so cute, but everyone has said like if you are getting reptiles, don't start with a chameleon. Like
No.
they're the hardest.
Start with
thing.
a leopard gecko.
A leopard gecko or even a bearded dragon. The
Yeah.
two like easiest ones to take care of. Hell, even a turtle. Like
Yeah.
turtles, bearded dragons, leopard geckos, like 3 of the easiest reptiles to get. And then like once you get into like the higher points, start going in for the advanced ones. Just maybe don't go for the crazy exotic ones yet.
Yeah.
Well, you never know because some people have those black dragons that I love so much. But yeah, no, I don't think he's an asshole for that. I think he's being reasonable and responsible,
Yeah,
and I
he's
think she's being
putting-
very irresponsible.
Yeah, she's being ignorant.
Especially because she is a reptile owner.
Yes. She should have already known.
And she should also know that this is very dumb, especially the fact that he could have burned himself by accident. That would have been horrible. But yeah, that's
It's irritating as hell.
irritating as hell.
Alright, I have the last one.
Okay, and I'll get my last one.
Alrighty. Am I the asshole for telling my aunt to get it together at her daughter's wedding? My cousin Tanya just got married. Everything was beautiful, and I had the honor of being a part of the bridal party. Everyone in the party had a role to play, and mine was practically quality control, for lack of better words. I basically had to go around and make sure people were where they needed to be for pictures, activities, etc. to keep things moving. First, everything was like butter, but I realized my aunt, Carrie, mother of the bride, kept disappearing and making things fall behind. Not too much of a big deal in the beginning, but it seemed like as the reception went on, Carrie kept making announcements to literally anyone she passed that she had to step away from it because it was an emotional day. It started to become a scene as seemingly every 20 minutes or so you could see her dramatically wiping her face and climbing over people to speed walk out of the hall to let it out. People quickly got annoyed but didn't say anything, and I tried to ignore it myself, but it came to a head when Tanya was waiting for pictures and Carrie was nowhere to be found. I figured she was having a cry, but after 10 to 15 minutes, Tanya got really worried. A few of us went to search, and it took us nearly 30 minutes to locate her. By the time I got her back, it's been nearly an hour, and now things are thrown off, / Tanya's tensions were high. On the way back, she kept repeating she's emotional and it's a big day. I told her I know, and for that reason she needs to get it together so things can move along smoothly and make less things for Tanya to worry about, and she can cry her eyes out when she gets home. She got quiet and didn't say anything else to me. We got back, took pictures, and things were good, until I noticed yet again that Carrie was gone. I asked around and heard she left and was met with a few dirty looks. Soon after, Tanya stormed over in tears and reamed me for forcing her mother to leave and feel in the way. How today wasn't about me and I shouldn't be taking over. She also said a few rude things about me being single and jealous. I walked away because I was hurt. Tanya has always been my favorite cousin. At the bar, I was told by another family member that before Carrie left, she went around to a few people, including Tanya, and said I told her to leave and that she wasn't wanted there, so she was leaving to not be a distraction. I was livid. I tried texting Carrie and she wouldn't respond, and Tanya wouldn't hear my side when I tried to explain, so I just apologized and left. It's been a few days, and I've been getting mean texts from different guests about how I ruined things, and I should get my own wedding to control. When Carrie finally responded, she just said next time to keep my mouth shut. I'm just really hurt, and now I'm being made to be an evil control freak just because I wanted my aunt to stop making scenes. Should I just have let her be dramatic the whole evening? Am I the asshole? As somebody with that aunt that is over dramatic, no.
No, yeah.
Like, the aunt I'm talking about, is my mom's sister. I told you about her.
Mm-hmm.
She has a son that is 16. When he was 3, he, like, the tip of his pinky got caught in my nan's screen door.
Mm-hmm.
Now, again, she had him very late in life. She was, like, 48 when she had him.
Yeah.
She's always been that, oh my god, what is happening?
Yeah,
the second something goes
that
wrong.
Kinda
Like a bee comes near her and, I go, "Meh." She will go, oh my god, it's chasing me.
Yeah.
She's that kind of person.
God, I would love to see what would happen if I tried to scare her for Halloween.
Don't, you're not meeting that aunt. But she, oh my god. When my Uncle Bobby passed away, I told you he passed away from lung cancer.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you zoned out there for a second.
No, I was listening.
Yeah, he passed away from lung cancer. You should have heard her the second we got to the funeral home. Now, granted, he did not want, like, a sad funeral or anything like that. And it wasn't even at the emotional part. Like, we had a bunch of laughs at the beginning that she was present for. That's the one that I told you my aunt, he had a hammer that was engraved that says, like, best dad ever or something like that. Mm. And it was on the edge of his coffin. And she knocked it and almost hit him in the head as he's laying in the coffin. She enters the freaking funeral home. And she's got a death grip on her son's hand. And she looks over as she's patting his hand and goes, this could be your granddad one day. Her father, who is alive and well. And my little cousin just starts bawling because he loves my granddad. Mm-hmm. Our granddad. She, when I was saying that he cut off the tip of his pinky, she had a death grip on his hand. He was 3. You can't even tell. One pinky is slightly shorter than the other. There was no blood. Mm-hmm. It was like all that fatty baby tissue because he was 3. Granted, horrifying. He was scared because she was like, my baby cut off his finger. She's insane.
Yeah.
You are not the asshole.
No.
The family members and the cousin are the assholes because they're not listening to you. That aunt was solely doing that for attention. Could the wording have been better? Yes. Were you stressed and annoyed? Absolutely. I get really moody when I am stressed and annoyed.
This one I have for the last one is interesting because there's some slightly like back and forth comments. Not like bad, anything like that. It's mostly like suggesting better alternatives, other things like that, and maybe handling the situation better. Am I the asshole for requesting my next door neighbor to make her toddler stop crying? Context. I am 36, female, live next door to a new tenant who moved in some 6 months ago, and they have a toddler 2-3 years of age. Her shrieks, ugh, my eyes. Her shrieks at all times of the day, and just does the whole throwing himself on the ground tantrum thing multiple times a day. Due to the hybrid work model, I work from home 3 days a week. It became a regular occurrence to have multiple instances of the managers/clients asking why there is a child crying over the weekend. Met my neighbor upstairs, and she asked me if I too woke up early with a shock. Context: last Saturday, the whole building woke up to a 5:45 in the morning because a child was screaming, and it went on for a good 20 minutes.
Oh.
Info: the child is healthy. Regularly see the child in the play area and the street. The mother is a stay-at-home mom.
Mm-hmm.
There is no neglect. The child is well looked after. He looks about 3 years old and goes to play in school in the morning, but hasn't been going this week. Okay. Now, on what happened today. I'm working on something critical while handing off my responsibilities due to a transition, and I have back-to-back calls. Over the course of 4 hours, I had to keep pausing my calls. At one point, an important client in another continent asked me if I needed to be excused to take care of my child. I should reschedule the call. Another person on the call chimed in with the sentence, "We should not be neglecting a child because our call is running long." Apologized to them and informed them that was my neighbor's child. They mentioned how it sounds like it's happening in my house. After the call ended, I went to the balcony and in a very respectful way asked the mother if the child was unwell. She didn't like it and asked why, and I asked her again if the baby is unwell. She said no. She mentioned she took away something that he was trying to eat, and that's why he was crying, and explained her what happened to the calls, and she snapped with her, and he's a baby, what do you expect? I asked her if I didn't talk to the child's mother, who else do I speak to? Explained her that I completely understand the challenges of being a mother, and I'm sure it's overwhelming, but it happens so many times a day, and it's not letting me focus. She started crying. Was I the asshole? He's loudly crying as I typed this. It took a voice recording, but I don't think there's a way for me to attach it. Please advise. I'm ready to be judged. If I was wrong, I will go over tomorrow and apologize. Edit. A lot of folks are asking me to go to the office. Most tech companies have globally changed their policies to 100% remote work, or some companies of hybrid work, so it's going office apart from design 2 days is not an option. Saw few folks asking me to move. We have a lease till May 2024, and this location is accessible to my partner and my offices.
Yeah, that was my first thought, was that it's an apartment building.
I don't think she's the asshole.
I don't think she's the asshole.
At first, I thought it was going to be like a weird dynamic situation where it's
like a power dynamic.
But given the fact that the child is healthy, there's everything that's completely fine with the child. It's a stay-at-home mother and stuff. Now, obviously, there's no mention of a father, which either he, one, is not in the picture, two, works long hours, and hence why he's not around, or three, it he's not there.
He's just not there.
Now, the fact that she asked respectfully if there was something wrong with the kid is commendable.
Yeah, because a lot of babies will cry like that with colic.
Yeah.
I'm not exactly sure with the context of colic. I just know it makes babies extremely uncomfortable. I think it has something with their digestion or something like that. But if they're 2 to 3 years old, then they should be off of formula or breast milk. So it's not as if it's something along those lines, unless they're having an allergic reaction or something like that. But they said that they just took something away and
they just took something he was trying to eat and he threw a temper tantrum.
First of all, why are you taking well, I was gonna say, why are you taking food from a kid? But we don't know if it's actually food.
Yeah, we don't know the context of what he was trying to munch
Yeah.
on or something like that.
But my God, 20 minutes?
20 minutes, and the fact that this isn't even the first time that's happened because
No.
other people have complained. The fact that even people who live on another continent that she was on calls with were saying that it sounded like it was in her room when... Can I help you?
Do you have an opinion?
I think he does.
You want to share your opinion?
No?
Come here.
Okay.
Kitty, kitty.
The cat view, people.
All right,
Probably
baby.
cut this part out.
Get it. You gotta come here. No, I'm leaving this part in.
Okay.
I just didn't want him to flash the camera.
Fair enough. Don't need
Never
that.
mind, he flashed the camera.
No.
I'll put a box. There you go.
He's done. But yeah, no, just... I'll make this quick because we're already on the 40-minute mark. It's just... It's just ridiculous. You know, like... That kind of... Stuff... Oh. Another visitor coming in. I don't know. I think she's not... I don't think she's an asshole. I think she was in the right, especially the fact that this is an ongoing thing. And the fact that that lady, the mother, responded so...
Rudely?
rudely.
Yeah,
Like, it
I didn't like that one.
It made a
Thought that
flag.
was weird.
Yeah, that's... Nah.
Yeah. But I think that's it.
And I think that's it. I think we read some pretty good stories. A lot of interesting, conflicting things. None too crazily drastic and insane. There were some where I was looking through some, I was like, these are good, but like, I don't know if these would be like, you know, a little too touchy. Like some were like touching on religion and like,
Yeah.
one was like touching on like racism and stuff like that too. So I was like, I want to avoid that and talk about like a chameleon instead.
Yeah, talk about a chameleon and like an annoying, the wedding and everything.
Yeah,
But, I think that's it.
I think that's it too.
Alright.
Hope y'all enjoyed.
I'm curious as to what your guys' comments are.
I know, I want to hear some other opinions about these. These are very interesting. And if you have your own interesting stories you've heard that you have your thoughts and
Oh
opinions
yeah,
on too.
feel free to do that and we'll do like a follow-up video.
Yeah, absolutely.
Alright.
Well,
I'm
remember
gonna go
to...
love on my cat.
My my mother is already doing that too, so don't forget to subscribe, like, hit that bell, punch it, smash it, elbow it, headbutt it.
When you hit the
Sit on
bell,
it.
it'll have like a drop down menu. You can click all, you can personalize it to whatever it is that you want to see. And if you like and comment and all that kind of stuff, it boosts our videos out into the algorithm. So we'll actually be able to have more views.
Got and gone.
Alright, bye.
See ya.